trigger warning. Fallon Fridley was born on September 27, 2018 in Hollywood, Florida. Fallon was the only child to her mother, Kristen Ann Fridley, and she was absolutely adored by her entire family. Now, her mother, Kristen, worked as a veterinary technician at a nonprofit animal rescue, and Fallon was in daycare up until COVID-19. Due to financial problems and the daycare's closing, Kristen had to find someone who would take care of her daughter while she went to work. So Fallon's mother, Kristen, had a very close friend named Kirsty Flood who was a stay-at-home mother, so they made arrangements for her to babysit Fallon a few days a week. And Kirsty had a 3-year-old daughter who was Fallon's best friend, so it seemed like the perfect fit. Kirsty also had a son who was only 3 months old at the time, and she seemed like a really good mother to both of her children. So Fallon's mother thought this would be a great idea. She can continue working, paying the bills, her daughter would be in good hands, and get to see her friends while she's there. Now, Kirsty had been watching Fallon since August, and now we're in December. It's been 5 months, and she seems to treat Fallon like her own child. Fallon hasn't come home with any bruises, no crying, no scrape marks, no signs, no red flags of anything going on. But all of that was about to change. On December 9th, 2020, Kristen dropped Fallon off at Kirsty's apartment. So that afternoon, Kirsty texted Fallon's mother and said, "Hey, can Fallon spend the night? She's playing with the other kids, they're having a good time." And after some thought, Fallon's mother agreed it was okay. Kristen knew that Fallon would have a blast spending the night with Kirsty's 3-year-old daughter because, again, they were best friends. At some point during that day, Kirsty took all the children to a park to play on the playground. Now, while they were at the park, Fallon's mother had called Kirsty, but Kirsty said, "Look, my phone's about to die, I have to get off here," and then she hung up. So around 8:30 p.m., Fallon's mother tells Kirsty, "Let's FaceTime," because she wants to see Fallon. So they go on FaceTime, but Kirsty holds the phone about 6 feet away from Fallon's face. So Kristen can see Fallon, but she can't really see her face that well. So to her mother, it just looks like Fallon's asleep. Kirsty tells her everything's fine, she just ate dinner, she's gone to bed, I'll talk to you tomorrow. But just minutes later, at 8:44 p.m., Kirsty placed a 911 call to report that Fallon was unresponsive and not moving. First responders found Fallon not breathing, and they immediately began administering CPR. So Kirsty calls Fallon's mother, and she's hysterical. Kirsty says, come to my house, Fallon's not moving, they're working on her." And Fallon's mother said, "What do you mean they're working on her?" Kirsty said, "Oh, she has a pulse. I don't know if she hit her head on a slide earlier while at the park." So then an officer gets on the phone and tells Fallon's mother that they're transporting Fallon to the hospital and she needs to meet them there. So when Fallon's mother arrives at the hospital, the doctors come out and tell her, "Look, Fallon has a fractured skull, her liver was ruptured, her spleen was ruptured, and Fallon's mother didn't know at the time, but her colon was also ruptured." The doctor said, "We have to stop what we're doing because we're doing more harm than good." Fallon's mother did not want them to stop. He said, "There's at least 20 nurses and they're taking turns doing CPR. The doctor said, I'm going to have to call it." And Fallon's mother said, No, we're not going to call it. We cannot call it." And then after they let it go on for about 5 or 6 more times, Fallon's mother said they told her one last time if the pulse did not come up, they would have to call it. But she was later pronounced dead. Fallon was covered in bruises. Doctors said this was one of the worst cases of child abuse they had ever seen. She beat that child. She did many vile, disgusting things to that baby. And then tried to play it off like she just fell and hit her head on the slide at the playground. You don't get injuries like that from just falling on a slide. The very next day, Kirsty had the nerve to send this message on Facebook to Fallon's mother. "I don't have a phone, they took it, but I love you and Fallon so much, and I really hope you know I would never hurt her. She's been with me forever and has always been so happy, and we both know that. She's the sweetest little angel and never even cried. I love you, and I'm praying you find it in your heart to forgive me. I know I can't say as much as I need or want to, but I would never hurt her. She was like a second daughter to me. When you're ready, please message me. In the meantime, I'm deactivating my Facebook. I love you." And by the next day, on December the 10th, Sandy Springs Police Department began their investigation into Fallon's death. The doctor said that Fallon's injuries were not consistent with the story Kirsty was giving about her falling and hitting her head on a playground slide. The medical examiner determined that while in Kirsty's care, Fallon had suffered several injuries that resulted in her death. Trigger warning. Those injuries included a massive skull fracture, lacerations to multiple organs including her liver, spleen, and colon. Even more horrific, the autopsy also revealed bleeding that was apparently caused by SA and battery. That 2-year-old baby had been violently SA'd and brutally beaten to death. Fallon's death was ruled a homicide as police found more evidence against Kirsty. Police took Kirsty's cell phone and they found some disturbing online searches that she made around the same time that she assaulted Fallon. Kirsty had searched the following. What type of people enjoy abusing other people's children? I hit my children and I feel guilty. What does it mean to have a sudden urge to beat a child that is not yours? So on Friday, December 11th of 2020, 29-year-old Kirsty Flood was arrested. So this case took another turn when Kirsty's boyfriend, 28-year-old Jeffrey Scott Myers, was also arrested and charged for child cruelty and second-degree murder because detectives accused him of being present while Kirsty was beating Fallon. And there's actual video proof of him in the home with Fallon at that time when Kirsty was beating her. Now, he wasn't hurting Fallon in the video, let me make that clear. He was being nice in the video. But still, he was present in the home when Kirsty was doing this to Fallon. So they're charging him for not acting, for not saving Fallon. He did nothing to help her. Some people have a problem with his charge. I don't. I say charge him to the fullest. This child had bruises from head to toe. Her spleen was ruptured, her liver was ruptured, her brain, her skull was fractured. There's no way this man did not know what was going on. When Fallon's family found out Kirsty was pleading not guilty, that was a big slap in the face. But what's even worse is Kirsty hasn't even been to trial yet. And we're not trying to make this political, but how was Donald Trump indicted and given a trial date so quickly for 2024, but these two have been sitting there since 2020 and they still don't have a trial date? That makes no sense. This county is dragging their butts. Why in the world is Fulton County dragging around on this case? She pled not guilty, she demands a trial, so let's give it to her. The community, the family, everyone is extremely angry that these two still have not been to trial and have not been sentenced for what they've done. Kristen has a Facebook page up called Justice for Fallon. Please go check it out. Please go show this mother some support. She really needs it. Fallon's mother wrote this on Justice for Fallon. I want to read part of it to you. The year's 2020. Some may say the year from hell, and I have to agree with that sentiment. Christmas is coming soon, and you've been working a lot. Your baby has more toys than any child could ever need. So this Christmas, you want to do something special. You think to yourself, do we go to Disney World? She's a little too young for that, but I want to give her a special experience. Oh, well, I don't have to think too much on it now. I have time. I was so wrong about that. I never saw my daughter alive again after that morning. Time is something we have too much of, and yet so little. What I would do to go back and hug her just a little tighter, hold her for 5 more minutes. To kiss her sweet face 100 times, and even though she knew, tell her I love her more than anything in the universe. If only I had taken her to the park more, done more fun things with her, sang more songs, embraced more cuddles, I would put myself on an altar and sacrifice myself to have her back. I was internally screaming, God, take my life, take all my limbs, my tongue, and give my baby back. It was too late. Time doesn't work that way. Time isn't fair. And yet we all think, I have time. I became an empty nester in my 20s. No more bedtime stories, no more silly dances, no more playing dress up, no more opportunities, no watching her learn to read, no kindergarten graduation, no first kiss, no prom, no college applications, nothing. The list of what is lost is never ending. I am forced to grieve her short life and also the life that she will never have the chance to live. So Fallon's mother and stepfather went on the Dr. Phil show, and Dr. Phil asked the stepfather, what was your thought when you realized this child is dead? And the stepfather said, wake me up from this nightmare. I'm just on my knees begging for God to take the heart from my chest and put it in hers. Take me. Don't take Fallon from her mama. We all need to rally up and let Fulton County know it's time to set their trial date because